Hi everyone, it's Narelle here, the Non-Crafty Crafter, and today I wanted to let you know that Cricut have been hard at work on the next release of Design Space, and today I want to give you a quick overview of some of the new features that you can expect to see. The first thing you'll notice is that the grid lines default to on. To turn them off, just click on the square at the top left of the top left corner and you'll see the little toggle grid preview there now. So click on that and your grid lines will be turned off. You're going to notice some changes when you click on Upload Images, in that there's now a pattern fill option. You'll be able to upload your own digital papers and use those to flood fill other images. Now, instead of having a basic upload and a vector upload, that's been grouped into one button, and Design Space determines the type of upload by the type of file that you select. So let's select a couple of images so we can see how some of the other things have changed here. So I click Upload Image and Browse, and I'm going to select this image here from Cadoodlebug, which is one of the Cadoodlebug Cricuts, and it's a PNG. So I'll select that one, and it's a complex image, I think anyway, and then I'll click Continue. Now I'm just going to zoom right out so we can actually see that. Obviously, because it's a PNG, there's nothing that I actually need to do to this image. I don't have any background that I have to delete. If it had been a JPEG, then I would have had to have cleaned it up, but I don't have to. So I'm going to click Continue here, and then at the next screen you'll see something new. Okay, so now what I've got here is a preview of the image as it will look if I do it as a print then cut, and then eventually, and I have very slow internet, that's why this is taking a while to come up, eventually you will see what the image would look like if you just save it as a cut image. So that replaces the little checkbox that used to be down in the bottom right corner here. Now on this screen you can still tag your images, so if you like to keep them searchable, you could type in here Cadoodlebug, and there's my cut image there. So you can see that now it's quite obvious what your images are going to look like, and there's no guessing now and no forgetting to go and check that box or uncheck that box. So this is this one here I would want as a print and cut image, so I'll leave that one checked. If I had wanted it as a cut image, I would have clicked that. So what I would do here is I would just click that, wait for my save button to come back up, and there it is. So there's that Cadoodlebug image there saved. Next I will upload a JPEG. No, actually what I'll do is I'll upload an SVG so I can show you something else. So this is a bendy card box from DigiPlayground. So now that I've got that on the screen, there's nothing else I need to do there apart from tag it if I want to. So I'll click Save, and again that one's now been added to my uploaded images. So I'm going to put these two onto my canvas. Okay, so there's those two images that I just uploaded. So while I've got this open here, I wanted to show you something new in the Layers panel. The first thing is that the shift click now works in the Layers panel, so if there's more than one layer that I want to select, I can click on one layer and hold down the shift key and select the other layer, because that wasn't working before. The other thing I wanted to show you was, for example, in this type of image where it's made up of several different layers, even though in this case they're all the same color, there's still individual layers. If I wanted to change or alter one of the layers, for example, say I wanted to hide the score lines that are here, I would have had to have ungrouped that. Now in the new version, you don't have to ungroup. I can just simply click on that layer itself and I can hide it. No ungrouping needed. I'll just put that one back in there. I'll just move this out of the way now. We don't need him right now. So another really cool feature that I want to show you, and this is one that we've been waiting for since Design Space was first released, was to be able to have images on your canvas and go back and find out what those images were. So if I select a couple of images from here, and now, well, currently you don't know, you can see the name of the image in the layers panel, but you don't actually know what the actual image was called, but now you can. So if I click on the image and then from the layers panel click on that image there, and you'll see an information icon. You click on that, it tells you the name of the image number, and which cartridge it came from. And I'll do the same here. Click here, the information. It's a square label frame, tells you that's from the first year's cartridge and gives you the image number. Pretty cool. Now that also works for text. So I'm going to add some text here. And I'll change the font. Let's pick something down here. Okay, so there's my font that I've just changed. Same thing, go to the layers panel, click on the text, and then click the information icon, and it tells me that it's the all mixed up cartridge. It's the silhouette feature. So no more guessing about what your font is. Now, there is one limitation to that. If you weld, slice, ungroup, or any of those sorts of things, if you do that to text, that text then becomes an image, and you can then no longer find out what the font was. However, if you weld, say I weld this tree to this scallop rectangle, and click weld, I can still click on that. So now I had two images, now I've got one welded image, but I can click there, go into the information, and it tells me still that there's a swirled tree from the Christmas cartridge and a scalloped edges card from the Creative Cards cartridge. So that's pretty good that you can still, even though you've welded it, you can still tell what cartridges they came from. So while I'm here, I'll quickly show you an overview of using patterns. So I have this image here and I want to fill that with a pattern. So I'm going to have to upload that pattern first. So I'll click Upload Images and I select Pattern Fill, and then I need to go find my pattern. So I'm going to use this one here. It's a JPEG. What I'm going to do is put in here some of the colors that are in here. That just helps me sort my patterns later. So I've got some kind of reds and pinks and greens. I'm going to put that in there. I can go through here and I can say it's a floral pattern, and I could pick some other things in here which I'm not going to bother. The pattern name it comes in as the name that your file was called, but you can change that if you want to. So here I'll select Save. Now it's uploading the pattern, and it does take a little while, so don't refresh your browser. When it's done, you'll see a message up here telling you where you're going to find that pattern. So there it is. It's saying that it's going to be found in the patterns in the layer attributes panel. So I'll show you where that is now. So it doesn't appear in here like all your other images does. It's somewhere else. So let's go ahead and I'll press cancel here now because I don't need that screen anymore. Now I'm going to flood fill this image with that pattern. So to do that, I have to flatten this image. So there's my image there, so I click on here, and what I do to flatten that is I select print, and then I now have this option. I can change the color or I can change the pattern. So I click pattern, and here are my digital papers. Now these ones here are from the Imagine Patterns and Colors cartridges, and they will be available for you when this is released. But you can also, as I've just done, upload your own. So here's, I'm going to select that one that I just uploaded, and I've selected that, and now this image will then be flood fill with that. So there it is there. Now I can go down to edit, and I can scale this. So if I don't want the pattern to be that big, I can scale it down to 10% of the original, or anywhere in between, and I can go all the way up to 400%. Depending on the quality of your image, it can get blocky. So you may want to scale it back to get to a much nicer result. So I'm going to go back to about 100. Okay. So that's how you flood fill your images with your patterns, and this is a really cool way. You can also, just if you want some pattern paper, you can, upload it and print out, a 8x10 sheet of printed paper or something like that, or whatever dimensions the print and cut works for your browser. There's one last thing I quickly wanted to show you, and that's slice. So if I insert a shape here, I'll just make it a square, and I'm going to actually fill this one with another pattern, so I can just demonstrate this a little bit better. Okay, so I'm going to put this here, and I'm actually going to slice that square out of the other shape. So I've got both of them selected, and you can see that there's the square and then there's the hexagon. I'm going to select slice. Now it looks like it hasn't actually happened, but it has. If I get grabbed there in the middle, I can move that piece out, and the piece that I originally sliced with is still its own pattern. It hasn't changed. Previously, if you slice something, both images took on the same color. That's not the case now. Your piece that you sliced maintains its pattern or its color. So that's slice. Now, just one last thing that I remembered. I don't know whether you've noticed that as I've been selecting images on the screen here, the layers panel has been scrolling. So now, if you've got a long list of layers in your layers panel, you don't have to scroll up and down to find them. You just click on them, and the layers panel scrolls for you and highlights the image there for you. So much easier now. Okay, so if I click on that one, it's just scrolling. It's fantastic. I love that feature. So that's all I've got time to show you today. There will be more coming up. There are other things coming. Bigger size print then cut is still coming. Don't worry about that. Print and cut for the iOS devices is still coming. The Android app is still in development. It's all happening, guys. So yeah, as I said, that's all I can give you today. Hope that really helps, and I hope you're excited for what's coming. There's no actual release date yet, but as soon as we know, we will let you know. Bye for now.